Hey, I hope you have on your protective gloves. I hope you have on your mask, because we are in a tough time right now. And you know who's suffering the most? Black and brown people. And we're going to talk about it when we get back.
Okay.
Well, happy Monday and happy day after Resurrection Day, which was yesterday, Easter Sunday. And for those of you who are Christian and believe in the resurrection and believe in Jesus, he rose on Sunday from the dead, and we too will rise from this coronavirus, from this COVID-19, and we will be able to live again and do all the things that we enjoyed in the past. Just believe and do all the things that you need to do in order to stay safe. Follow the rules and guidelines. Wear protective gloves. Wear the protective mask. It's very, very important that you understand that you too will rise again. Some of you out there are going through hardships. Some of you have lost some loved ones. I know I've lost some loved ones. I've lost some friends, some colleagues, some people who I respect. And it's been really, really tough. But we will rise again, and it's great that we had Easter yesterday to give us that hope, to let us know that for those that say who are Christian and believe in Jesus, that Jesus died for our sins and he rose on Easter Sunday. So we hope that will bring you some inspiration. I'm CLM II for Style with Power, the channel that helps empower men through style. And if you believe in videos that talks about style, that talks about fashion, that talks about empowerment, and that talks about mindset, well, this is the channel for you. So don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell, so that you'll know every time we upload a video. Well, in today's show, we're going to talk about how the pandemic, the COVID-19 here in America, has really, really hit the African and Latino community really, really hard. And instead of me talking, I went out and I got a video of a great American thinker, thought-provoker, fighter, activist, and his name is Van Jones. Some of you may know Van Jones or have seen Van Jones, but for those of you who don't know who Van Jones is, this will be an opportunity for you to get to know this young man, as he's doing some great things out there. So we're going to show a couple of video clips of him and why he believes that this is affecting our community more than anyone else. For those of you who don't know the statistics, we are dying of the coronavirus at a tremendously higher rate than any other culture here in America. So let's take a look.
When you look at being black in America, number one, people unfortunately are more likely to be of low socioeconomic status, which makes it harder to social distance. Number two, we know that blacks are more likely to have diabetes, heart disease, lung disease, and I and many black Americans are at higher risk for COVID. It's why we need everyone to do their part to slow the spread.
It's the U.S. Surgeon General just this morning talking about the heightened coronavirus risk for African Americans. Some states have released the racial breakdown of cases and deaths, and those numbers show a disturbing trend, a disproportionate number of African Americans being infected with coronavirus and dying. Joining me to share their expertise in their reporting, Dr. Kamara Jones, the former president of the American Public Health Association, Politicos, Laura Barone-Lopez, and CNN's Van Jones. Doctor, I want you to listen to the governor of Louisiana, who's looking at these numbers and says, as Dr. Jones just said, this is a horrible thing and we better learn about it as soon as we can.
Right now, slightly more than 70% of all of our deaths are among African Americans, who make up about 32% or so of the overall population of our state. So obviously this is a big disparity, and we're going to try to figure out what that is attributable to and what we can do about that as quickly as possible.
And Van, as you come in, I just want to put the numbers, just Louisiana numbers up side by side, because people need to look at the numbers and let them sink in when you look at it. 33% of the population of the state of Louisiana is African American. 7 in 10 of the deaths in the state of Louisiana are among African Americans. It's just a more than double your proportion of the population. When you hear the governor there, Van, I take him at his word that he is very well intended. You also know the history here. We have a crisis, everybody ramps up, a lot of money gets spent, and then some of the disparities that may have been a major factor in contributing to the crisis, when they're over, they either get forgotten, put aside, or there's not enough resources to deal with them.
Look, I was in conversation with the governor yesterday. I know that he is well intentioned, but here's the reality. We got off on the wrong foot here from a media point of view and from a community point of view. Everybody started saying in the black community, this is a white folks thing. You're hearing about white folks in nursing homes. You're hearing about white folks who went to China. And in fact, a rumor got started that black people were literally immune to this disease. That was all over the internet. Started off as a joke. People took it seriously. And in fact, you've seen this before with HIV. Oh, HIV, that's just for gay people. I don't have to worry about it. And then it spread everywhere. This is a disease. The numbers for the black community are going to be completely different than the numbers coming out of China or Italy, because it's an epidemic jumping on top of a bunch of other epidemics already in the black community. We already have an epidemic of high blood pressure, which is lethal if you get this disease. Nobody's saying that. We already have an epidemic of asthma, obesity, etc. In other words, you got to start saying to your black relatives, your black friends, do you take pills every day? If you take pills every day, are you supposed to? Get your butt in the house and don't come out, because you are going to die. Well, I'm not 80 years old. No, it's not just age. In our community, it's going to be, are you sick? And black people are underinsured, underemployed, and barely healthy on a good day because of things that were just mentioned. We have to change the discussion. We can't say comorbidities. That doesn't mean anything to the people who are in harm's way. The people who are in harm's way, do you take pills every day? Do you got sugar, diabetes? Do you got pressure, high blood pressure, hypertension? You could die in a week. You could not be here. You've got to start screaming this to the black community, or you're going to have a catastrophe on your hands here.
Let me tell you the positive thing that he did say yesterday, which he needs to be supported on. He did say that they were looking at compassionate release for people in prison. And we have not talked enough about the people in the prison system. The problem is a pandemic that breaks out in the prisons is the worst thing imaginable. The people inside are trapped. They can't do social isolation. They can't do the hygiene. Right now, hand sanitizer is banned because it has alcohol in it. It's 1,000 problems. So the federal government has the power under the First Step Act, which Trump signed into law a little bit more than a year ago, to do compassionate release for people who are older, people who are sicker, people who have underlying conditions. They can be compassionately released. They can be sent home for home confinement themselves. You got to do something. Otherwise, you're going to have a pandemic in the prisons, and nobody was sentenced to die inside the prisons, for whatever crime they committed. They weren't sentenced to die there for lack of medical care. So what you want to do is get everyone, before it hits, you want to get everyone out that you can safely. The ones that you can't get in safely, you want to surge in a lot of medical support and help. You have, a responsibility to do that. At the Reform Alliance, which is the organization I helped to lead. It was started by Jay-Z and Meek Mill and Robert Smith and Michael Rubin and a bunch of people. We've been working around the clock to get the help needed into the states. We need your help to get every state in the union to change the rules immediately so people don't go in there for no reason. People can come out if they've got a good reason, and the ones in there get the help that they need. Because this is a major, major thing. It's not just people getting charged and going in and out. It's the guards going in and out. You could have petri dishes for the pandemic all across the country called jails and prisons.
Absolutely.
And Reform Alliance to stop that.
Well, there you have it. Outstanding commentary. Great young man. I would encourage all of you to go out and to follow Van Jones and follow his journey as he works hard to help our people strive to become successful and to be the best that they can be by fighting the system, by letting the system know that we're here, we contribute much to this country, and we need this country to give back to us. So there you have it with Van Jones. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to play a video of inspiration. There was a song that came out years ago, and I remember in my music days, I actually sung this song with a group that I put together. It's called Optimistic, and it came out years ago, but this group did it on Zoom. They did a fantastic job, and I have the video of that. So we're going to go out with that, and I will see you guys next Monday.
Of sorrow, you can't see up when looking down. A brighter day tomorrow will bring. Oh, you hear the voice of reason telling you this can never be done. No matter how hard reality seems, just hold on to your dreams. Yeah. Don't give up, don't give in. The moment seems you never win. Yeah. You will always pass the test as long as